Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोविंद भगवान की जय।
जय
श्री कृष्ण भगवान की
जय
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
Jai.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji, I just wanted to say that the way you do this prayer, it just touches my soul. Thank you, Prabhuji. I have to learn this from you, Prabhuji.
This is all Srila Prabhupada's voice. We do the chanting with his voice. That's it. Everything happens by itself. But thank you so much, Prabhuji. So nice. I think the most important part is, that we all come together and we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which is really nice. And almost completing the 9th skand and, going on slowly and slowly. So this is really so nice, so grateful to everyone. Yeah. So we'll get started. And yesterday we were reading Shlok 58th of the 24th Adhyaya, and 24th Adhyaya is the final Adhyaya of 9th skand. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna, Rajan.
Hare Krishna. And in this Adhyaya, we read about the descendants of Vrishni, and then we are reading about the Yadu dynasty. Right? Before that, we read about the Surya Dev dynasty, the Chandradev, Somdev dynasty. And now we are reading about Lord Sri Krishna. And Sukdev Goswami is describing to Parikshit Maharaj about Lord Sri Krishna. Right? That's what we are reading. So very, very blissful. And, yesterday we read the shlok which says the Supreme Personality of Godhead acts through his material energy in the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this cosmic manifestation just to deliver the living entity by his compassion. He says, why people ask, right? Why the Lord appears again and again and again, right? And of course, we have also read about Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya, right? Whenever the Dharma religion has to be saved, the Lord appears. But most important is why the Lord appears is Anugraha, to deliver. Anugraha is to deliver. To whom? The living entity, like all the conditioned souls like us, right? Anugraha is tat nirvritte. Nirvritte. Yeah? Nirvritte is to deliver Atma Labhaya. Yeah? To deliver the living entity by his compassion. And Atma Labhaya is so that to stop the living entity's birth, death, old age and disease, and duration of materialistic life. So that's why Lord Sri Krishna appears in original form as well as in all the avatars. So that all the big sands, when Lord Ram went to Vanvas, all the sons were waiting for him. That's why. I mean, we read about the story of killing Ravan and all that, but the reality is he, delivered so many of souls, so many of sons. So that's what Sukdev Goswami is saying. So by his compassion and stop the living entities' birth, death, and duration of materialistic life. Thus, he enables the living entity, a living being, to return home back to Godhead. Yeah. And then we read half of this para, and then the other half we are reading. So we'll start that from here. Anilji.
In this way, the conditioned soul undergoes a great struggle for existence in this material world, and therefore the Lord, out of compassion for him, appears in this world and instructs him. Thus, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam prajamyam. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I dissent myself. The real dharma is to surrender unto Krishna, but the rebellious living entity, instead of surrendering to Krishna, engages in adharma, in a struggle for existence to become like Krishna. Therefore, out of compassion, Krishna creates this material world to give the living entity a chance to understand his real position. Bhagavad Gita and similar Vedic literatures are presented so that the living being may understand his relationship with Krishna. Vedais cha sarvair aham eva vedya. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. All these Vedic literatures are meant to enable the human being to understand what he is, what his actual position is, and what his relationship is with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called Brahma Jignasa. Every conditioned soul is struggling, but human life provides the best chance for him to understand his position. Therefore, this verse says, Anugrahas tan nibrata, indicating that the false life of repeated birth and death must be stopped and the conditioned soul should be educated. This is the purpose of the creation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so few important things mentioned here is why is this world created, right? And a lot of people ask this question. If God really wants us and if he likes us and if he is within us, why he creates this material world, right? So as you can see, we are like the rebellious living entity where we did not surrender to Krishna. We want to have our independence, right? We want to be like Krishna himself. And so instead of surrendering to Krishna, we engage in adharma. And still, in spite of that, out of compassion, what is mentioned is Krishna creates this material world to give the living entity a chance to understand his real position. So in this world, as we know as a conditioned entity, right, at least certain things we saw that we see the facts, right? Nobody is eternal here, like as a materialistic body. We see all those facts. And so that gives us a real position. And in a human form, which is also very, very difficult, very, very scary, right? To get that human body, then we can understand the real position. And it also mentioned the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam we are reading, all these Vedic literatures are then presented to the living being. Yeah, so we can understand our relationship with Krishna. And that's what basically human life provides the best chance for him to understand his position. Yeah. And can you reading, Ajay? Ajay?
Oh, I'm sorry. The creation does not arise whimsically and as atheistic men think. Asatyam apratishtham te jagad ahur aniswaram aparaspara sambhutam kim anyat kama hetukam. They say that the world is unreal, that there is no foundation and there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Bhagavad Gita 16.8. Aesthetic rascals think that there is no God and the creation has taken place by chance, just as a man and woman meet by chance and the woman becomes pregnant and gives birth to a child. Actually, however, this is not the fact. The fact is there is a purpose for this creation, to give the conditioned soul a chance to return to his original consciousness, Krishna consciousness, and then return home back to Godhead, and be completely happy in the spiritual world. In the material world, the conditioned soul is given a chance to satisfy his senses, but at the same time, he is informed by Vedic knowledge that the material world is not his actual place for happiness. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Dosan Darshanam. One must stop the repetition of birth and death. Every human being, therefore, should take advantage of the creation by understanding Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, and in this way return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Reenaji?
Yohininam patibhirsurar nripalanchane bhuva akramya manaya abharaya kritodyamaha. Although the demons who take possession of the government are dressed like men of government, they do not know the duty of the government. Consequently, by the arrangement of God, such demons, who possess great military strength, fight with one another, and thus the great burden of demons on the surface of the earth is reduced. The demons increase their military power by the will of the Supreme, so that their numbers will be diminished and the devotees will have a chance to advance in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can a nice purpose. So this Shiva Prabhu.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dushkritam. The sadhus, the devotees of the Lord, are always eager to advance the cause of Krishna consciousness so that the conditioned souls may be released from the bondage of birth and death. But the asuras, the demons, impede the advancement of the Krishna consciousness movement, and therefore Krishna arranges occasional fight between different asuras who are very much interested in increasing their military power. The duty of the government or king is not to increase military power unnecessarily. The real duty of government is to see that the people of state advance in Krishna consciousness. For this purpose, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasha. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. There should be an ideal class of men who are bona fide Brahmanas, and they should be given all protection. Namo Brahmane Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Krishna is very fond of Brahmanas and cows. The Brahmanas promulgate the cause of advancement in Krishna consciousness, and the cows give enough milk to maintain the body in the mode of goodness. The Kshatriyas and the government should be advised by the Brahmanas. Next, the Vaishyas should produce enough foodstuff, and the Shudras, who cannot do anything beneficial on their own, should serve the three higher classes, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. This is the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that the conditioned soul will be released from the material condition and return home back to Godhead. This is the purpose of Krishna's descent on the surface of the earth. Paritrana sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
Everyone must understand Krishna's activities. Janma karma cha me divyam. If one understands the purpose of Krishna's coming to this earth and performing his activities, one is immediately liberated. This liberation is the purpose of the creation and Krishna's descent upon the surface of the earth. Demons are very much interested in advancing a plan by which people will labor hard like cats, dogs, and hogs. But Krishna's devotees want to teach Krishna consciousness so that people will be satisfied with plain living and Krishna conscious advancement. Although demons have created many plans for industry and hard labor so that people will work day and night like animals, this is not the purpose of civilization. Such endeavors are jagato hita, that is, they are meant for the misfortune of the people in general. Kasayaya, such activities lead to annihilation. One who understands the purpose of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, should seriously understand the importance of the Krishna consciousness movement and seriously take part in it. One should not endeavor for ugra karma or unnecessary work for sense gratification. Nunam pramatta kurute vikrama yad indriya pritaya apranoti. Bhagavatam 5.5.4. Simply for sense gratification, people make plans for material happiness. Maya sukhaya brahman bharam udvatyo vimudhan. Bhagavatam 7.9.43. They do this because they are all vimudhas, rascals. For flickering happiness, people waste their human energy not understanding the importance of the Krishna consciousness movement, but instead accusing the simple devotees of brainwashing. Demons may falsely accuse the preachers of Krishna consciousness movement, but Krishna will arrange a fight between the demons in which all their military power will be engaged and both parties of demons will be annihilated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sachin.
Hare Krishna. Karmanya parimeyani manasapi sureshwareha sahaskarshana chakre bhagavana madhusudanaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, with the cooperation of Shankarshana, Balaram, perform activities beyond the mental comprehension of even such personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. For instance, Krishna arranged the battle of Kurukshetra to kill many demons for the relief of the entire world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? As we know, Lord Krishna appeared with Balram, right? Who is none other than Sankarshan, right? So we know that there are 4 descendants from Lord Shri Krishna, right? We know Sankarshan, Pradyuman, Vasudev, right? Sankarshan, Pradyuman, Vasudev, and Aniruddha, right? So you might have heard, right? And so Balram is the Sankarshan from, and as we know, Krishna and Balram appeared together. We know Ram and Lakshman appeared together. So Sukdev Goswami ji is currently describing the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna. Actually, sorry. Kalo janishyamānānām dukhay shokayata monudam anugrahaya bhaktānām supunyam vetanotyasa. To show causeless mercy to the devotees who would take birth in the future in this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna acted in such a way that simply by remembering him, one will be freed from all the lamentation and unhappiness of material existence. In other words, he acted so that all future devotees, by accepting the instructions of Krishna consciousness stated in Bhagavad Gita, could be relieved from the pangs of material existence. And who is saying this? Who is currently speaking?
Sukdev Goswami.
Right, yeah. Sukdev Goswami is reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. He is telling Parikshit Maharaj that to show causeless mercy, kalo janishyamānānām, yeah, for the conditioned souls, duk shok tam, yeah, anudam, basically to free from all the lamentation and unhappiness of material existence, right? Just by remembering him, anugrahaya, he does such a karuna to bhaktanam, to all the devotees, yeah, that they can go back to Godhead, is what is being mentioned. They can be relieved from the pangs of material existence, is what Sukdev Goswami is telling about the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna. It says the Lord's activities of saving the devotees and killing the demons. Yeah? Paritranaय sadhunam vinashayasya duskritam take place side by side. Krishna actually appears for the deliverance of the sadhus or bhakts, but by killing the demons, he shows them mercy also. For anyone killed by Krishna is liberated. Whether the Lord kills or gives protection, he is kind to both the demons and the devotees. Anilji?
Yasmin Satkarn Piyushe Shastirtavare Sakrata Shotrajja Lirupasprasya Dhunute Karma Vasanam. Simply by receiving the glories of the Lord through purified transcendental ears, the devotees of the Lord are immediately freed from strong material desires and engagement in future activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Sukhdev Goswamiji continues describing Lord Krishna's appearance and is saying that by simply receiving the glories of the Lord through purified transcendental ears, yeah, Satkarna Piyushe Yashas Tirt Vare Sakrit, and Shrotra, yeah, listening. What happened? All the karma vasanam, dhunute karma vasanam, gets freed from all the strong material desires and fruitive activities. And just by receiving the glories of the Lord through purified transcendental ears, they are immediately freed from all the material desires, is what is Sukhdev Goswamiji is mentioning. Ajay?
When the devotees actually receive the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead as enacted in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they immediately achieve a transcendental vision in which they are no longer interested in materialistic activities. Thus, they achieve freedom from the material world. For sense gratification, practically everyone is engaged in materialistic activities which prolong the process of Janma Mrityu, Jara Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease. But the devotees, simply by hearing the message of Bhagavad Gita and further relishing the narration of Srimad Bhagavatam, becomes so pure that he no longer takes interest in materialistic activities. At the moment, devotees in the Western countries are being attracted by Krishna consciousness and becoming uninterested in materialistic activities, and therefore people are trying to oppose this movement. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shivaprabhu?
But they cannot possibly check this movement or stop the activities of the devotees in Europe and America by their artificial impositions. Here the words Shrotranjalir Upasprasya indicate that living by simply by hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord, the devotees become so pure that they are immediately immune to the contamination of materialistic fruitive activities. Anya bhilashita sunyam. Materialistic activities are unnecessary for the soul, and therefore the devotees are freed from such activities. The devotees are situated in liberation, Brahma Bhuya Kalpate, and therefore they cannot be called back to their material homes and materialistic activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what is mentioned here is when the devotees receive the activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yeah, listens to that as enacted in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. What we are reading is Srimad Bhagavatam right now. What happens? They get a transcendental vision. That's what Lord Sri Krishna himself says, that he gives the transcendental vision so the devotees can understand him. Otherwise, there is no way we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. Rinaji?
भोजवृष्यन्ध कमधुशूरसेन दशार्हके श्लाघनीयैर्भक्तिभिर्युक्तो येहितः शश्वत कुरु सृञ्जय पाण्डुभिः स्निग्ध स्मिते क्षितोदारैर्वाक्यैर्विक्रमलीलया नृलोकं रमयामास मूर्त्या सर्वांग Ramya, assisted by the descendants of Bhoj, Vrishni, Andhak, Madhu, Sursen, Dasarha, Kuru, Srinjaya and Pandu, Lord Krishna performed various activities. By his pleasing smiles, his affectionate behavior, his instructions, and his uncommon pastimes like raising Govardhan Hill, the Lord appearing in his transcendental body pleased all of human society. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Taru?
The words Nirlokam Ramayam Asa Mrutya Sarvagna Ramayaya are significant. Krishna is the original form. Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is therefore described here by the word Mrutya. The word Murti means form. Krishna or God is never impersonal. The impersonal feature is but a manifestation of his transcendental body. Yasya Prabhavato Jagat Anda Koti. The Lord is Nakriti, exactly resembling the form of a human being, but his form is different than ours. Therefore, the word Sarvanga Ramaya informs us that every part of his body is pleasing for everyone to see. Apart from his smiling face, every part of his body, his hands, his legs, his chest, is pleasing to the devotees, who cannot at any time stop seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sachin?
Yasyananam Makara Kundala Charu Karna Bhrajatka Kapola Subhagam Savilasa Sahasam Nityotsavam Na Tatru Udrushibihi Pibantyo Naryo Narascha Mudita Kupita Nimescha. Krishna's face is decorated with ornaments such as earrings resembling sharks. His ears are beautiful, his cheeks brilliant, and his smiling attractive to everyone. Whoever sees Lord Krishna sees a festival. His face and body are fully satisfying for everyone to see, but the devotees are angry at the creator for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So this is how Sukdev Goswami is describing Lord Krishna's appearance. Yeah. How is he describing that? Krishna's face is decorated with ornaments. Yeah, such as earrings resembling sharks. Says Yashyananam Makar Kundal Charu Karna. Yeah, Makar Kundal. That's how the earrings. On then Rajat Kapol Shubhanga. His cheeks brilliant and his smiling attractive to everyone. Sa Vilas Hasam. Smile is attractive to everyone. And Nitya Utsavam means whoever sees the Lord Krishna sees a festival. Nitya Utsavam. And it's always fully satisfying for everyone to see. But then what is also mentioned is the devotees are angry at the creator for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyes. So they are even angry at the palak because when the palak goes down, you cannot see Lord Sri Krishna at that time. They are saying like they are so engaged into seeing this beautiful form of Lord Sri Krishna that they are narasya mudita kupita. Kupita is they are angry, nimeshcha for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyes. This is how Sukdev Goswami is describing Lord Sri Krishna. Anilji?
As stated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 7.3, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye Yatatam Api Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvaha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in the truth. Unless one is qualified to understand Krishna, one cannot appreciate the presence of Krishna on earth. Among the Bhojas, Vrishnis, Andhakas, Pandavas, and many other kings intimately related with Krishna. The intimate relationship between Krishna and the inhabitants of Vrindavan is especially to be noted. That relationship is described in this verse by the words Nityostavam na totrapur drashivihi pivantyaha. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially such as the cowards, boys, the cows, the calves, the gopis, and Krishna's father and mother were never fully satisfied, although they saw Krishna's beautiful features constantly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, they want to continuously see Krishna's beautiful features. And so that's why they were never satisfied, because they had this urge to constantly see him. Also, as we know, right, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, what's mentioned is Manushya Nam Sahasreshu. Yani ki out of many thousands among men, right? We have like 7 billion population, right? Just the human beings. One may endeavor for perfection. Kasjit Yatati Siddhaye, like one person may try to be in the perfection, do the meditation, reach the perfection stage. But then what is mentioned, most important, is Yatatam Api Siddhana. Like even people who, one out of thousands, striving for perfection and achieving perfection, right? They get the self-realization, they achieve the perfection. Still, hardly one knows me in truth. Kasjit mam veti tatvatah. Like they still don't understand Sri Krishna, right? And so they have, of course, they do self-realization, they again fall down and all that. So what Sri Krishna is saying is like it's such a fortunate to understand Krishna, right? Because one in billions, right, basically tries to understand Lord Sri Krishna. So continue reading this, Ajay.
Seeing Krishna is described here as Nitya Utsav, a daily festival. The inhabitants of Vrindavan saw Krishna almost every moment, but when Krishna left the village for the pasturing grounds where he tended the cows and calves, the gopis were very much afflicted because they saw Krishna walking on the sand and thought that Krishna's lotus feet, which they dared not place on their breasts because they thought their breasts are not soft enough for being pierced by broken chips of stone. But even thinking of this, the gopis were affected and they cried at home. The gopis, who were therefore the exalted friends of Krishna, saw Krishna constantly, but because their eyelids disturbed their vision of Krishna, the gopis condemned the creator, Lord Brahma. Therefore, the beauty of Krishna, especially the beauty of his face, is described here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you read English, Prabhu?
At the end of 9th canto, in the 24th chapter, we find a hint of Krishna's beauty. Now we are proceeding to the 10th canto, which is considered Krishna's head. The entire Srimad Bhagavata Purana is the embodiment of Krishna's form, and the 10th canto is his face. This verse gives a hint of how beautiful his face is. Krishna's smiling face with his cheeks, his lips, the ornaments in his ears, his chewing of betel nuts, all this was minutely observed by the gopis, who thus enjoyed transcendental bliss, so much so that they were never fully satisfied to see Krishna's face, but instead condemned the creator of the body for making eyelids that obstructed their vision. The beauty of Krishna's face was therefore much more appreciated by the gopis than his friends, the cowherd boys, or even by Yashoda Mata, who was also interested in decorating the face of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? The important part which is mentioned here is at the end of the 9th canto, which is this canto, the 9th skand, which we are reading right now, the 24th chapter, right? We are getting a hint of Krishna's beauty. And now we are going to proceed to the 10th canto, the 10th skand, which is considered Krishna's head. Yeah. So just see how the whole thing is described. It says the entire Srimad Bhagavatam Puran is the embodiment of Krishna's form. And we have seen that, right? As we have started reading from 1st canto to the 9th canto, we have seen that every now and then there is a prayer, there is a blissful prayers of Lord Sri Krishna, right? Lord Sri Vishnu by so many different devotees. We have seen it again and again, starting from Sri Bhishma Pitama, right, to Mother Kunti, and then we have seen so many of even with Lord Shiva, right, doing the stuti of Purushottam Bhagwan. So that's the entire Srimad Bhagavatam Puran is the embodiment of Krishna's form. But the 10th canto is his face, right? That's the 10th canto. That's why it's super important. The 10th skand is, right? This is how it's mentioned. Rinaji?
जातो गतः पितृगृहात् व्रजमेधितार्थो हत्वा रिपून् सुतशतानि कृतोरुदारः उत्पाद्य तेषु पुरुषः कृतोभिः समीजे आत्मानमात्मनिगमं प्रथयन् जनेषु. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottam, appeared as the son of Vasudeva but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons, and afterwards he returned to Dwarka, where, according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of householder life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So this is like summarizing, trying to summarize the Sri Krishna's appearance. Nice purport. So let's read this again. Tarun?
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedyasya cha sarver aham eva vedyaha. By all the Vedas, it is Krishna who is to be known. Lord Sri Krishna, setting an example of his own behavior, performed many ritualistic ceremonies described in the Vedas and established the principles of Kṛiṣṇa life by marrying many wives and begetting many children just to show people in general how to be happy by living according to Vedic principles. The center of Vedic sacrifice is Krishna. Vedyas cha sarver aham eva vedyaha. To advance in human life, human society must follow the Vedic principles personally demonstrated by Lord Krishna in his householder life. The real purpose of Krishna's appearance, however, was to manifest how one can take part in loving affairs with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Reciprocations of loving affairs in ecstasy are possible only in Vrindavana. Therefore, just after his appearance as the son of Vasudeva, the Lord immediately left for Vrindavana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sachin?
In Vrindavana, the Lord not only took part in loving affairs with his father and mother, the gopis and the cowherd boys, but also gave liberation to many demons by killing them. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. The Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. This was fully exhibited by his personal behavior. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is understood by Arjuna to be Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, the eternal transcendental supreme person. Here also we find the words Utpadya Teshu Purusha. Therefore, it is to be concluded that absolute truth is Purusha, a person. The impersonal feature is but one of the features of his personality. Ultimately, he is a person. He is not impersonal. And not only is he Purusha, a person, but he is the Leela Purushottam, the best of all persons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So what is mentioned is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagwan, right, is not impersonal, as a lot of people will say. He is a person, and this impersonal feature is just an extension of his personality, right? So it's not that the impersonal feature is not there, it's there, but it's just one extension. It's not the end. The real Supreme Personality of Godhead is a person, is what is mentioned. Yeah. He is a Purush, he is a Lila Purushottam. Anilji?
व्यास वै गुरुहरं क्षपयन् कुरुणा मन्तः समुत्कलिना युधि भूपचम्बः दृष्ट्या विधूय विजये जयमुद्घोष्य प्रोच्योद्धवाय च परं समगात स्वधाम येन्ये रविन्दाक्ष विमुक्तमानिन् स्वस्तव्य यत्स्तभावादि विशुद्धबुद्धयः आरुह्य कृक्षेण परं पदं ततः पतन्तयोधो नाद्रत युष्मदङ्घ्रयः. Thereafter, Lord Krishna created a misunderstanding between family members just to diminish the burden of the world. Simply by his glance, he annihilated all the demonic kings on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and declared victory for Arjuna. Finally, he instructed Uddhav about transcendental life and devotion and then returned to his abode in his original form. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and we all know how Lord Sri Krishna instructed Uddhav on the transcendental life. And this, Ajay.
Parityana sadhunam vinasaya dushkritam. The mission of Lord Krishna was performed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, for by the Lord's mercy Arjuna was victorious due to being a great devotee, whereas the others were killed simply by Lord's glance, which cleansed them of all sinful activities and enabled them to attain Sarupya. Finally, Lord Krishna instructed Uddhav about the transcendental life of devotional service, and then in due course of time, he returned to his abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shiva Prabhu. Shiva Prabhu.
Yes. The Lord's instruction in the form of Bhagavad Gita are full of Gyan and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. In human form of life, one must learn these two things: how to become detached from the material world and how to acquire full knowledge in a spiritual life. This is the Lord's mission. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam. After executing his complete mission, the Lord returned to his home, Goloka Vrindavan. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 9th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. End of the 9th canto. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai.
It's the end of the 24th chapter, also the end of the 9th canto. Yeah. And there's the canto 10th, which is the Samam Bonam. And this is about the advent of Lord Sri Krishna and the whole thing about Lord Sri Krishna. I think we can pause here and we'll start reading the 10th canto from Monday. Yeah. This is the one of the largest cantos. Yeah. It has like almost 90 chapters. Yeah. So it'll be nice to read.
Face of Krishna, right?
Yeah, this is all about Krishna. Yeah. So since we are reading about Krishna, we are going to hear a bhajan, yeah, which is also about Lord Sri Krishna, and it's around 7 minutes. Okay, so we'll hear it around 7 minutes.
सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि 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 केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम। रचाओ रे, आओ रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि केशव हरि गोविंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि केशव हरि गोविंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, 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 हरि नारायण हरि ओम।
All right, so introduction to Lord Shri Krishna. We lead the whole canto, and then we have, long weekend now. Means long week for us, and then see you back on Monday. Yeah, Monday 9:30 p.m. EST. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.